Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. The final press conference between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury has been held ahead of their fight this weekend in Las Vegas MGM Grand. So what I'll do, I'll get to some of the best parts of the press conference, some thoughts along the way, and also in this video, the referee and the judges have been selected, so we'll talk about that too. But starting with the press conference, which had a real edge to it to begin with. Wilder and Fury getting up in each other's faces, not wanting to sit down, a bit of heat there, and then it led to some pushing and shoving between the pair and a couple of minutes of trash talk. There was security coming up in between them, including one of Deontay Wilder's brother with his backpack, as he usually wears. So that was a good way to sort of start off the press conference, the sort of energy we really haven't seen in the last couple of months since this fight was announced. And once they parted ways and sat down, he said hello to Shelley Finkel. This is Fury saying, "Hello, old bald head." And then Wilder, in the actual opening statements, he said, "I can't wait. It's torturing for me waiting, letting the hours fall down. I brought you to big time boxing," and Fury lies about everything. And there was this back and forth for a couple of minutes between them, basically debating and arguing who brought who back. And Fury, of that sort of side of the conversation, said that he brought Wilder back to his biggest payday, put millions in his account. "I brought him to this level. Welcome to big time boxing." Where Wilder said he brought Fury back from the brink, from when he was 400 pounds, and gave him the opportunity, etc. So this kind of went round in a bit of a circular way. And Wilder said to Joe Tessitore, "I'm giving you a subliminal message. There's nervous energy." And I could, if you saw Joe Tessitore's face, he was like, "What?" And when Fury was asked about the cuts from Joe Tessitore, he gestured that had been cut 4 times in camp. And he said that Wilder ain't got the bottle, the minerals, or the bollocks. Whereas Wilder said, "When I knock you out, go and do stand-up comedy. I'm bringing the big hammer from Alabama." He said that one a few times, the big hammer from Alabama. But when they started to get a little bit more serious, Wilder said, "Saturday night, it's unfinished business. We're picking up from where we left off, effectively round 13. He said that he's going to deliver a more calmer and devastating performance. He said he's healthy this time. His right arm has full power. And when he knocks the Gypsy Queen out, we're going to have a Black History trivia question." To which Fury didn't quite like the racial tone being brought into it. He said this isn't a racial war. This is 2 heavyweight boxers going at it. And of the judges, so they did comment on this, so this is where I'll bring it in. So you have Kenny Bayless. He is going to be the referee for the fight, very experienced referee. And the judges are going to be Glenn Feldman, Dave Moretti, and Steve Weisfeld. So a very experienced trio of judges and a very experienced referee. And of these officials being selected, Fury said all experienced judges. Kenny Bayless is a top referee. He said, "I've got no objections." And Wilder commented on it saying, "They're all qualified to do a great job. I never complain about the judges or the referee." But that's not quite true, though, because he complained vociferously about Jack Reese and his 10 count. So Wilder may be stretching the truth on that one. But the question of weight, that came up, and Sugar Hill Stewart and JD's, they were sort of the back end of the press conference. Of the 270 pounds that Joe Tessitore said, "Look, you've said you're going to weigh this or there or thereabouts. What's behind that?" And Sugar Hill Stewart said, why not? He can carry it at 6'9". He's not 6'4" or 6'5". He can still move around the ring like a middleweight, so 270 is no problem. And interestingly, because Deontay Wilder in the last couple of fights has weighed around 220 pounds, and for the first Fury fight, he was 212 on the scale, he said he's been waking up at about 230 pounds, and that he believes he's going to weigh in somewhere around the high 220s. And this weight issue, obviously the weigh-in just a couple of days away, we're going to get an answer either way. Maybe Wilder's exaggerating, maybe Fury's exaggerating, because a lot of people have commented that Tyson Fury is looking quite lean, but at the same time he looks like he has put on some muscle. So we'll see where he ends up. I'm thinking maybe just a hair under 270, maybe between 265 and 270. So, final thoughts on this press conference. A lot more emotion bubbled to the surface, but part of me thinks that it was definitely a deliberate strategy. Fury was really trying to ratchet it up the sort of emotion and get a bit of a rise out of Deontay Wilder. And I think for his benefit, he's hoping that will work in terms of getting Wilder sort of a bit het up, and that will sort of carry over into the ring, and that Deontay Wilder might end up being a little bit wild and ragged like he was in the first fight. So we shall see, though, because I think Deontay Wilder knows what Fury's trying to do. He is confident going into this fight, but he knows he has to dial it back and be calmer and more clinical in this rematch. But what did you make of the press conference? Drop a comment. Loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Boxing_squared. I'm out.